The new flyer for 2023 is in, and this one covers quarter one, which is January, February, and March. I've seen these in other companies' flyers. I've seen Cornwell selling them, and I've seen them on some other names. And I didn't know what to think when I first saw them. It is the Vim Race Day Expandable Stool. This one's in green because it's Vim, and I've seen them in blue that Cornwell has and other colors from other tool companies. And I was always kind of sketchy about this one. And when you look at it, I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell what to think because I've only seen pictures, and I thought to myself, no, there's no way I'm ever going to put those on the truck. How popular could they possibly be? And they've got to be chintzy, right? Because they're made out of plastic. Well, I saw one that someone bought off the Cornwell truck, and it gave me a chance to look it over really good, and I changed my tune on these. They're rather well built. They're extremely sturdy. And when you expand them, each of those pieces that you see in the body of the stool lock into each other very securely, and they're not going to collapse. You really have to put the effort in to twist it all, undo it, and then collapse it again. And I had a customer asking me about them, and when I could tell him that I was confident that they were good quality, he picked up two of them. So I delivered those to him last week. They hold 250 pounds. It's a 10-inch diameter seat. And when I was asking the guy who owns one about it, he said he loved it. He stood up on it to show me how well it could take his weight, and he wasn't a very big guy. But the fact that he could stand on it, it was stable enough to hold him. I don't recommend using it as a step stool, but he did, and it took his weight with no problem whatsoever. So, for $42.49, you got yourself a cool little novelty. Take it camping with you. Take it to a ball game or something if you watch the kids play in school, or just use it around in the shop, obviously, for its intended purpose. But for extended shop use, I'd recommend something with a little more comfortable, a seat maybe with some padding. But this guy is pretty cool, very portable, very light, and worth the money. So I changed my tune on that one. It's a good product from Vim. I've never seen anything that they put out that was junk, so I like all their stuff. And we'll talk about some of the stuff later on too, because there's some other deals in the flyer that they have that I think are pretty good. Next, we have this 3/8 drive, 11-piece nano impact metric hex bit sockets from Astro. These are the ones that are very short, and they have a 3/8 square hole in the back for your breaker bar or your ratchet. But there's also a hex bolster that goes all the way around these, so you can use a wrench on it or a large socket. And this set covers 6 through 19 millimeter and has a lifetime warranty. They're impact grade, still you can also use them with your impact gun. And boy, are they a space saver. And the fact that they have the versatility that you can use a wrench or a socket around that hex bolster means that you're going to need even less room to use these. So when tight spaces are a concern for you, consider a set like this, and it comes on a nice anodized aluminum rail. They also have a 1/2-inch set, but they put the 3/8 one in the flyer. These mini pry bars from Mayhew are a really nice addition to the stuff that you keep on you all the time, and they also make a great gift. So if you have someone in your family or a friend of yours who always would find some use out of having a handy pocket pry bar, consider gifting him or her with these Mayhew ones. There's a curved tip and a straight tip in this set, and they're 5.5 inches long, a little bit long for your pocket. They do not have a pocket clip on them. The Lang ones do have a pocket clip, and they're a little bit shorter. But right now, the Mayhew ones are on sale for $1.50 less than the Lang set. So these are $23.49, made in the USA, lifetime warranty, as well as the Lang ones. So when you're comparing, look at the Lang ones. Also, those have a little pocket clip on them. Those are $25. Those are not on sale. Normally, the Mayhew ones are $30. So they took a significant chunk off for the flyer. I don't know if these are worth the money. So I'll throw them out here and then see what you think. One's an Ingersoll Air engraving pen. The other is an Ingersoll straight pencil die grinder. They seem kind of pricey to me. And because they're brand new to the market, there's no track record, so I can't tell you if these are good, bad, or something in between. I don't know. It seems like even if you were to spend $229.99 on an air engraver, it's still going to look like you're a 6-year-old kid writing with crayons when they try to engrave something. So I don't know if these are going to be worth the money or not, but float it out there. I want your comments on these. Tell me what you think. Are they worth it? Would you buy one? I tend to think not, so I'm not going to put them on the truck. But still, getting them out there so that you can see them, weigh in with your opinions in the comments. I'd love to hear what you have to say. When you need an infrared temp gun, there's lots and lots and lots of ones that you can choose. I tend to go for functionality and price. Normally, I would put the ESI ones on the truck because they're fairly inexpensive, and ESI makes really good electronics. In fact, all they make are electronics. Well, Power Probe came out with this temp gun that I think is going to give the ESI one a run for its money. It has a 2-year warranty, which is nicer than the 1-year warranty on the ESI ones, and it has a laser pointer on it, and it's a few bucks less. This one's $57.49. I'm going to put these on the truck and see how well they do. I'm very interested to see side by side the ESI ones, what these are like. I like what I see in the ads for these. I haven't yet saw one in person yet, so I'm going to get them on the truck, and they'll probably be in a tool haul video sometime soon if they're in my next order or so. Power Probe also has a very popular dual zone digital wireless thermometer. This is a base unit that has a temperature sensor in it, and it has one probe that you can clip to the side, and then you can unclip it to move it around and use it in some place that's different from where you have the base unit. And on the end of the probe is a little clip that you can put in the louvers of the vent in the car so you can measure the temperature of the AC. You can get an add-on wireless probe for it. So you can run 2 probes plus the temperature sensor in the base unit. So you can get 3 different readings in 3 different zones. And you can see on the display here that top number is a number that the base unit reads. The bottom number toggles between the add-on probes, and you can select one or the other, or just have it toggle back and forth automatically so you can see all 3 readings. Very popular, and they've been on back order for a long time. I've been waiting for the add-on probes now for ages. I hope they come in soon, but I'm not holding my breath anymore because I think I put orders in for these things, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe. So it's a little disappointing that the back orders are what they are for this, but the base units are finally available again, so I have those coming in. These PocketMate lights from Streamlight are popular every year around Christmas because they're great gift ideas, so I stock up. I still have a bunch left over, but the pink ones are almost gone. The red ones are the least popular color for some reason, followed by blue. Then silver and pink are the most popular. But these are compact, little rugged, hefty little lights. They're tiny little guys. Like the body's only, I don't know, I think it's an inch square, maybe less than an inch square. And it's got a solid button on it to click it on and off. Has a carabiner for your keychain. And around back, and you can't see it in the picture, is a clip for the brim of your ball cap. So you can slide it right on your cap and use it as a headlamp, put it on a keychain. Giving these things as gifts to everyone in your family is a great idea because these are indispensable for finding your door lock at night, or if you're in a poorly lit restaurant, it's great to read a menu or whatever. You're going to find a million uses for these. Pick the color that suits you. They're rugged little lights. I've had nothing but great luck with these, to the point where my wife liked them so much we bought a bunch for the family for last Christmas, and then she wanted some for herself, so we got her some too. So we use them all the time ourselves, and I wholeheartedly endorse them and recommend them. Power Probe has this modular work light that is very popular because it's one of the most versatile lighting solutions I think you'll find. I've never seen one that I would consider to be as versatile as this one. It has 4 250 lumen light modules in the base unit. The base unit is the thing that plugs in, and the modules charge when they are inserted in their base unit. You can remove as many modules as you like and use them independently. You can also use all the modules in the base unit because the base unit itself has a power switch, so you can run a combination of modules in the base unit or alone by themselves. They're small enough that you can tuck them up underneath the car, get them in small, compact spaces. They have a hook and a magnet on them, so you can either hang them or stick them to a metallic surface when you're working. The base unit also has a threaded quarter 20 insert for using on a tripod. So if you want to set it up underneath the car, shine it up, you can do that. And there's also a magnet on the back of the base unit and a magnet on the end. So you can hang it down or stick it flat against a surface. Extremely versatile. You can use these in tons of applications. If you lose a module, then we just get you a new module. Those are available by themselves, and it's covered under a 1-year warranty. So if something goes wrong, we just swap out the entire assembly for you, all the modules and the base unit. Don't even sweat it, and it's very easy to handle under warranty for these. Very, very rugged, too. I don't recommend it, but I have seen a few guys drop these things onto concrete floors from about 3 feet, and they survived the drop. That I'm not going to promise they'll survive it, but I will say this. They have survived it, the ones that I've seen. So kind of tough to argue against it. And if that $254.99 price tag seems high, just think about this. How much would an individual work light cost you about that size? They run about $50. So for 4 lights, you're in it for $200. And then that base unit at another $54 kind of seems like it's worth it. There are some guys that think it's too expensive, so they pass on it. But with the amount of lights that you tend to buy in your career, you're gonna buy at least a few work lights. You're gonna very quickly buy individual lights that add up to at least the cost of this entire assembly, and then you don't get nearly the versatility that you get out of these. So worth considering. I'm a big fan of it myself because they are so well received by my customers. I try to always work some kind of discussion on PPE as personal protective equipment into a lot of what I do because it's vitally important. And it pains me to see people who don't use PPE because the ounce of prevention that it takes to use hearing protection, face protection, eye protection, hand protection, breathing protection is worth the pound of cure down the line. And I walked into a shop last week and saw a kid using a bead blaster. And you know, if you've ever heard a bead blaster, they're extremely loud, even at a distance. And he was the one using the thing, so he's holding the unit and setting the beads on tires with the things, and he was not wearing hearing protection. And I asked him about that. I said, you know, do you have earplugs that you can put in, or at least over the ear protection? And he said, well, you know, I mean, they send earplugs with the bead blaster. And I said, why aren't you using them? He goes, You know, I really wish that there wasn't such a cavalier attitude about using PPE, because you're going to notice a difference in your life later down the line if you don't use it early on. It is too late to use PPE if your hearing goes, or you have lung problems because you breathe in too much brake dust, or you're grinding too much and you get shards of metal in your eye, or you lose your sight entirely because you weren't wearing glasses or a face shield. So that's my request to you, is to always take PPE seriously. Don't let anyone's cavalier attitude about it change your approach, because you deserve to be protected, and all your senses are vital to your happiness and well-being. So protect them. So in that vein, we're looking at the UVEX Bionic Face Shield for $46.99. This thing covers your whole face. You get a lot of protection because it's ANSI compliant and it's compliant to CSA standards. If you use this thing over your face, you can grind with it without fear of getting something in your eyes, up your nose, in your cheeks. You know, and if you're in a really hazardous condition, put glasses on underneath it and really double up your protection. A nice optically clear shield, and we can replace just that shield on the outside if it gets foggy and scratched up. Your face and your health and your well-being is worth the $46.99. Please consider getting something like this for a lot of work that you do in the shop. And don't listen to anyone who's going to tell you that you look stupid or you don't need it or anything, because it's not their safety on the line, it's yours. There's been a very nice price reduction on some of the things in this flyer. One of them is a long-barreled air hammer kit from Ingersoll Rand. This is their 119 Max K kit. It was up to about $315 last flyer cycle, but they dropped the price a lot to $269.99. It's nice and powerful. 1-year warranty on it. It's got a 5-piece chisel set with it and a quick connect chuck. The chisels are not covered under warranty, but we'll replace those with ones that are from Mayhew or K-Tool, one of those brands, if they break on you. And I think that for the money, it's very tough to beat this air hammer. There's guys who are going to say that they like the Snap-on one better because they believe it is stronger, and I think that it is. But it's not a question of whether or not you're getting the strongest thing on the market. The question is it strong enough for your applications? And is it worth the money to buy something that's stronger than the Ingersoll? That's a question you're going to have to answer based on your use cases. Just know that this is a very real option for you. And if you don't want to spend I think it's over $500 now for the Snap-on one, then maybe the $270 price tag on this one suits you just fine, given what your application is. So I don't know anyone who's ever said, oh, this thing's a piece of junk, I'm going to go back to the Snap-on one. I have had people say they don't want it, they don't want the Snap-on one, and they'll take the Ingersoll because it's worth it for the price. So again, it's something that you're going to have to decide for yourself based on how you're going to use it, what your duty cycles are, what kinds of things you're going to be hitting with it, and see how it works best for you. But this is an extremely good option for most people. I haven't seen this one in real life, and I'm dying to get one in. When I do, I'll let you know and probably put it on a tool haul video. This is from K-Tool. It's their 1/2 horsepower 1/4-inch angle die grinder for $104.99. It has a 2-year warranty. It seems like it's strangely inexpensive for what it is. There's very few half horsepower die grinders on the market because it's a big motor, and usually the housing's larger, and the price usually goes way up. Well, K-Tool has these for rather cheap, and I'm very interested to see these in real life. The problem is I'm going to be competing with myself because I sell a lot of the Astro Quick Lock 90-degree die grinders. Those are 0.35 horsepower motors on those. So it'll be interesting to see if I put these next to that on the truck, which one do people prefer? There's a small cost savings over this K-Tool one, but you get way more power. So what I'm guessing, hopefully, is if it's good quality, then you're going to see perhaps longer duty cycle on this because the larger motor isn't going to work as hard. With a composite housing, it should be comfortable and it shouldn't get cold when you use it. So I'm hoping great things for this die grinder. We'll see when they come in, but I think it's something absolutely worth bringing to your attention for you to consider when you do your shopping too. So I like the Astro ones a lot. Their Onyx line is very good, and I'm interested to see how the K-Tool one competes with it. Astro has this palm impact wrench, which I have not seen because it's brand new. It's a remote unit in that the impact head is attached to an airline, and you plug it in, 25 inches away from your source. So you have this head, and then this 25-inch long airline that comes off, and you can put that thing, anywhere you can fit your hand and the head on this. It's rated at 445 foot-pounds of torque. I doubt it's that strong. Most torque ratings are not as strong under real conditions as they are in the labs when they test them and put their rating on them. So there's probably a significant difference between what they say in the lab and what you're going to find in a real life application. Still, it's an interesting and perhaps even compelling product that has 3/8 drive and 1/2-inch drive options. And the head is it's less than 3.5 inches in length. And because it's reactionless, it's impact, which means it's not going to, wrench your wrist around. You don't need even your whole hand. You can just hold it with a few fingers. As long as you can hold it up against your workpiece, it should work. It's $244.99, and they don't say specifically that it doesn't have a 1-year warranty on it. So I'm going to go with a 1-year warranty on these. And I'd be very interested to know if any of you have had these or are interested in getting them or are thinking about it. I don't know what applications would be particularly good for these. It seems like most guys are good with 90-degree impacts, but still, I'm wondering if this one is going to have a place in a lot of toolboxes. It's very interesting looking to me. So before I put one on the truck, I figure I'd float it out to you and see what your opinions are and get your feedback on this. So please, tell me what you think about this guy. Prices came down a little bit on the plastic creepers from Lisle. These are their Jeepers Creeper brand. But they're still too expensive. I would still urge you to not buy these creepers at $149.99. Even the black one at $144.99 is too expensive. And if you want green or orange, well, then they charge you $10 or $5 more. Too much money for a plastic creeper, if you ask me. The plastic deck on these is covered under a lifetime warranty, not the casters, not the headrest. And I think for what you get, they're not really worth it. Instead, consider this one here from K-Tool for a whole lot less money. This one's $81.99. Although it only has a 1-year warranty on everything, it is rated for 50 pounds more carrying capacity. This one's 300 pounds. The other ones I just showed you were 250 pounds. This one's way less expensive, slightly larger, and a little more comfortable because it has a contour to the back. So consider this one while you're thinking about creepers, because you can find a much better value, I think, if we get away from kind of that, the one brand everyone buys because it's what everyone knows kinds of thing, which that Lisle one. I've been selling a lot of these K-Tool ones because of that price difference. People seem just as happy with these as they are with the K-Tool, as they are with the Lisle ones, and they've just saved themselves a bunch of money. So I'd rather get you in something like this where I think the quality is just as good, functionally it's just as good, and it's half the price. Speaking of PPE, I do consider stools to be in that category because they're going to save your back and your knees. For $214.99, you get what I do believe is the most comfortable seat in the industry. It is similar to the one from Sonex and the one from Whiteside. That's a nice wide tractor seat with lumbar support. It is extremely comfortable to sit on. The casters are nice and large, so they roll over imperfections in floors fairly easily, and it has a lifetime warranty. The cool difference with this one is along the round base is 5 plastic sections where you can hold parts and tools. And you can remove the sections and bring them up next to you or just stow them underneath. And it rises from 18 to 22 inches on a nice beefy shock, and it has a 300-pound capacity. When it comes to this style stool, I will happily get whatever one somebody wants, but when the pricing on the Gearwrench ones is less than the Whiteside and Sonex, that's the one I recommend. So that's the one I usually go with. For tire inflators, you have lots of choices in that regard too, but I think one of the better ones are these Astro ones. They are the same as the Blue Point ones. I believe Astro makes them for Blue Point, or the same company that makes them for Astro also makes them for Blue Point. However that arrangement works out. As far as I know, these are the same ones as the Blue Point ones on the Snap-on trucks. So $129.99 for the green, $134.99 for the blue. They have a braided stainless cable over the hose. The blue one has a locking chuck, and they have 1-year warranties on them. It's a nice big display, and the thing that I think is nice with these is they use AAA batteries instead of those little watch batteries or the little disc batteries, so they're easier to change, and they're perfectly reliable in a nice rubber overmold that covers the face and the grip. And I don't know, what can you say about it? It's got a nice large readout, and they're rugged. The price is right on these. They're less expensive than the Milton ones that I was selling, and I think these are slightly better quality because they have a nicer hose on them. If you're in the market for a digital torque wrench, don't throw your money away on stuff that costs twice as much and works equally well. The Gearwrench 120 XP digital torque wrenches are outstanding values. The 3/8 drive goes 10 to 100 foot-pounds. The half-inch drive covers 25 to 250 foot-pounds. They beep. They light up. They vibrate when you hit your target torque. They do angle. They have a flex head, and they have their 120 XP fine-tooth mechanism so that you get a 3-degree ratcheting swing arc for easy accessibility. It does peak torque angle and peak angle. Very accurate to 2 degrees, and the flex head makes it a little more versatile. Compare the cost of these to the cost of the Mako and the Snap-on ones. You will find that this is far less than either of those guys are. And if there is a quality difference between them all, I can't tell you what it is. I sell nothing but the Gearwrench torque wrenches, and I have rave reviews from them coming back to me from my customers. The nice thing about the way I do business is, let's say people don't like the Gearwrench ones. Fine, I can sell different brands. So I don't have to sell the Gearwrench ones, but it's the one I choose to sell because it's the one everyone's happy with. So I have very good luck with these. I don't think I've ever had one come back for warranty, and they're that is reliable and they're accurate. And if you need them calibrated and certified, we can do that for you too. 3/8 drive is $339.99 and the 1/2 inch drive is $409.99. And I don't know, if you can find a better deal with one that has the nice features of this one, grab it. But I just don't know what that is. Some cool hand tools from Mueller Cubes and from Vim. Both companies have a very popular wrench extender. The Vim one is 15 inches long, and it has a comfort grip handle as opposed to the Mueller Cubes one, which does not have a comfort grip handle because on the end of it you can see a square drive hole that takes a 1/2 inch drive. So let's say the 15-inch extender that you're using isn't long enough to give you that extra leverage. You can put a 1/2 inch breaker bar on that. Note I said breaker bar and not your ratchet. And the one from Vim does not give you that option. So it's up to you as to which one you want to use. The one from Vim has a beautiful full polish finish to it. The jaws are a little wider to accept a wider beam of a wrench, but the Mueller one will do just about any wrench that you can want to use it on. Well, I may have been mistaken. It's 13.5 inches, the Mueller one, and the Vim one is 15 inches. They dropped the price on the Vim. It was about $75. Now it's $62.99, and it looks like the Mueller crept up about $10. It was also $75, but now it's $85.99. So really the choice is yours depending on the functionality you want. Do you want that square drive hole or not? Do you want the comfort grip handle or not? It's entirely up to you. I carry both on the truck all the time. I carry either the Lang or the K-Tool snap ring plier sets. They're both made in the USA. I don't know who makes the K-Tool one, but Lang is a manufacturer. They may make it. I don't know. Lang makes their snap ring pliers for lots of other brands, so they might make it for K-Tool. Made in the USA for $150 for a 12-piece set. It has 3 different tip sizes for each tip configuration. There's straight, there's 45-degree angle, there's 90-degree, and then 3 different tip sizes for each. So you can see in the picture there's different handle lengths as a result. As the tip sizes get larger, so do the pliers. Lifetime warranty on them. You can get them individually if you want, but the whole set for $150. Usually if you get a few individuals, you might as well get the set, and for whatever that small difference is, you're covered for every one of the snap ring pliers that they offer. Here's a set of locking pliers from Irwin. These are the Vice Grip brand pliers that you know and love. It has a 10-inch curved jaw, 10-inch straight jaw, 7-inch curved jaw with a cutter, 6-inch long nose, and a 5-inch curved jaw with a cutter, and it comes in a bag. This is a fine set. $114.99. Good price. Lifetime warranty. I will never say anything bad about the Vice Grip brand locking pliers because they are the de facto. They're very good quality. I can hear it now. People telling me how they like the Eagle brand better or whatever brand it is that is now making stuff in the U.S. And I've heard good things about them, but they are extremely expensive. But I don't know what they're like to deal with. People have suggested, oh, you should sell their stuff. But you know, being a low volume retailer selling stuff directly from a company is an expensive and difficult endeavor, and I can't usually do it because usually the minimums are too high. And then it becomes prohibitive to do warranty stuff because I have to send it to them. That costs me money. It's a big hassle. So can we get Vice Grips that are just as good? Probably. Are they I don't know. The Eagle ones, everyone tells me how awesome they are. I don't know. I don't know how popular they are either. So we have choices, though, when it comes to the locking pliers here. This Irwin set's very good. Milwaukee makes a very good set. So, depending on, if you have a brand preference, the Milwaukee ones have a torque lock feature on the back. Instead of that thumb turn you see on the Vice Grip ones, it's this round red piece with a hole in it. You can put a screwdriver in there and torque the screw around to tighten down the jaws even more. So you have some additional functionality and some additional versatility out of that you don't have in the Irwin ones. The Milwaukee ones are about $15 less. So either one, I've got them both. Knipex is the name in pliers. If you're looking for top of the line, truly premium grade pliers made of high quality materials, built with excellent craftsmanship, and have a lifetime warranty, but they also come with a premium price. Then you will look at Knipex. And I don't know that you're going to be disappointed with the products because they're excellent quality. You may be disappointed in the pricing. That's forgivable because their stuff's pricey. Especially when you look at their 4-inch Pliers Wrench XS pair of pliers at the top there for $75.49. That's a lot of money for a little pair of pliers. I'm not going to lie to you about that one. Also is their regular 2-piece Pliers Wrench set. That's their 5-inch and their 7-inch set. That's $144.99. More use is going to be found in this pliers set than that single 4-inch set up top. The 5-inch and the 7-inch are, I think, their two most popular models in the industries that I deal in. So consider those if you need gripping force where you can't risk marring the surface of your fastener, or if you need something that's rather thin. That 5-inch set has a very thin head on. It's as thin as a thin wrench. So it'll get you in certain places that regular pliers can't. Because they have a cam mechanism, they have a holding and a gripping force that far exceeds regular pliers, and they don't have the slop of an adjustable wrench. But it gives you that same versatility. So consider the pliers wrenches for things like that. You may find that they're your go-tos for a lot of things. Down below is your twin grip pliers. It kind of surprises me that the price on this isn't more, but they've always been right around $50-$60 for these, and at $53.99. This is a fantastic set. It's got a push button 5 adjustment position jaw on it, and it holds tighter than regular slip joint pliers, and it has jaws that are configured like their Cobra pliers, so they can grab lots of different fastener sizes securely and it won't slip. And you get a lot of gripping surface because they have hardened teeth and they don't wear out like you might find in lesser quality pliers. Those are very popular too. So of all the things on this page, I would look at the twin grip pliers and the two-piece Pliers Wrench set as ones that you might want to put on your list of things to buy next if you're looking to grow or improve on your pliers collection. Seems like everyone and their brother's making picks these days. Milwaukee is no different. They have an 8-piece hook and pick set. It's got large ones and the mini ones for $63.49. Pretty good deal. I did a flyer video on one of Mako's flyers where they had a 4-piece mini pick set for like $60 or something like that. Or it was ridiculous. Here you're getting 4 mini ones and 4 larger picks for $63.49. They have lifetime warranties on them. Nice, comfortable handles. It's an all-metal core that goes all the way up the handle, so you're not going to snap them off like you would like at the base of the handle where it meets the tang. So consider them because you have so many choices with picks. Don't settle for some brand name that a truck carries because it's the only thing they carry. Look outside of that and see what Milwaukee's got because their whole hand tool line has been expanding regularly now for years. And I'm really liking the quality of what they come out with. They have really good pliers now. Their screwdrivers are good. They've had sockets and ratchets now for a few years. But now they've got these picks and a bunch of other things that really make me feel good about dealing with the brand because their quality is so high and their pricing is very, very good. If you know Vessel's products at all, you'll know they have excellent impacting screwdrivers. These are the screwdrivers that have a striker cap on the back, and when you put these against your workpiece and you hit them with a hammer, it turns the rotation mechanism 12 degrees so that you're impacting with it every time you hit it with a hammer. And these can replace those manual impact drivers, plus you have the additional functionality of a screwdriver with these. They have hex bolsters on them for additional torque if you need to attach a wrench to it. And for the price, I think that you're getting very good quality tools. These are made in Japan and out of Japanese steels and high quality engineering went into these. On the bottom is an 8-piece wood composition non-slip set. I don't believe that's an impacting set on the bottom. I believe that's just a regular screwdriver set. It's built to the Japanese industrial standard specification, which is that JIS spec. They're very high quality. Their tolerances are very tight on these. If you need a nice, refined set of screwdrivers, consider Vessel. I have shown you these in real life in some tool haul videos. Sonex has a 208-piece master bit set and a 38-piece mini ratchet and bit set. Both are indispensable because they have every bit you could ever need for almost any application between these two kits. The one on the bottom has a ratcheting driver with a magnetic holder in it, so you can insert the hex shank in the ratcheting driver without falling out. And the 208-piece set has security bits, Phillips bits, slotted bits, Torx, tamper-proof Torx, hex, has a whole set of nut drivers. If there's something in there, if you need something that's not in there, you probably don't need it, because this set has you covered front to back. And that $50.99 38-piece mini set sells like crazy because it is so popular to keep in your bag, in your car, at home, in the shop, wherever, carry it around with you. It's got a lot of versatility to it that people enjoy, and it's what they gravitate toward, especially that mini driver. That thing's top notch. Wilton has outstanding hammers. These are their B.A.S.H series, what they call unbreakable sledgehammers. B.A.S.H stands for Badass Sledgehammer, and they guarantee that they will give you $1,000 if that handle breaks under normal use. Under normal use. Don't buy these and then do everything humanly possible to break a handle and then demand that they give you $1,000. That's not how that works. This set comes with a 4-pound, 12-inch sledge, a 32-ounce, 14-inch ball peen, and a 2-pound, 16-inch handle cross peen hammer. For $200, you're getting 3 of the highest quality hammers that money can buy. They have lots of other hammers and sets as well, but I wanted to show you this one because this is a very good general purpose set for $200. Can't beat them. I just sold one the other day to a guy who he's been turning wrenches for a long time, but he saw this, liked the price, and he's a big fan of the brand, so I got that for him too, and they'll serve him forever and ever. I show you these pry bar sets because something interesting has happened here. I've shown these to you in the past, in real life and in flyer drop videos. On the top is the K-Tool 5-piece pry bar set for $184.99. Just below it is the Mayhew 5-piece pry bar set, also for $184.99. And if you look closely, you'll see that these are exactly the same pry bar set. The only difference is that the K-Tool one, as its smallest pry bar, has an 8-inch offering, and the Mayhew one's smallest pry bar is a 10-inch. The others are both 12, 17, 25, and 31 inches long. So except for that, these are identical. Mayhew makes that K-Tool set. Those K-Tool pry bars are the Mayhew Dominator pry bar. Now, usually, I've been able to sell the K-Tool one for about $20 less than the Dominator set, so I've been keeping the K-Tool one in the truck as a result, and people would prefer it because they have faith in the quality, knowing that it's a Mayhew tool, and if they can save themselves a few bucks, they do. Why it's the same price now, I couldn't tell you. I don't know. It confuses me. I thought I'd show it to you as an interesting little head scratcher. But you can't go wrong no matter which one you buy. Unless you have a really a preference for an 8-inch or a 10-inch. Really, that's the only thing that's going to affect your decision. Both sets are made by Mayhew in the USA, and they have lifetime warranties on them. And for a 5-piece set, $184.99 is not so bad for a tool truck price. If you need some measuring tools like calipers, dial indicators, or micrometers, consider Fowler. They're much less expensive than brands like Mitutoyo, Starrett, and Brown & Sharp, but they're very good quality. I know machinists who use these successfully and are quite happy with them. I don't know exactly what any of the quality or functional differences might be between these and those other brands that I mentioned. I don't have access to other brands, but those have been the de facto for machinists forever. And I never say anything bad about them because they make top-notch stuff. I just don't know what the quality or functional differences are between, say, a set of Starrett mics and a set of Fowler mics. I don't know. All the stuff that I sold from Fowler has stood up to everyday use and does very well. So I had no qualms at all selling their stuff. I know machinists who use them. And in fact, some machinists have recommended that I carry them before they realize that I did. So it's nice to have that vote of confidence from people who use this stuff all the time. There's been some nice price drops in this flyer, and you can see that the 16-piece metric set of Gearwrench ratcheting combination wrenches has dropped quite a bit. I circled it in red here because I wanted to call it out specifically, but all the other wrench sets on this page have also dropped in price. I just circled the metric one because it's the most popular one. For $194.99, you get 16 wrenches that go from 8 to 25 millimeters. An excellent set. And if you need a 14-piece standard set, that's $10 less. And then you can buy smaller sets too for less money. And if you need the flex head versions, those are above it. Those cost a little bit more, obviously, because they're flex head. But I think if you need just a regular set of metric and standard wrenches, this is the way to go. For a tool truck price, this is really good on a set of wrenches that's the de facto in ratcheting combination wrenches. These are the new 90-tooth design from Gearwrench. These have been holding up extremely well. I don't know what they've done differently quality-wise, but I'm not seeing really much breakage on these. On the older 84-teeth ones, they would see their share of breakage. Nothing surprising. But on these 90-tooth ones and their ratchets too, I haven't really seen any broke. So it's been great. They've been lasting a good long time. People are getting their money's worth. If you work on Cummins ISB and ISX engines and you need a 19 and 22 millimeter line socket, Lisle has you covered with 3/8 drive sockets for those types of engines. And for $68.49, these are a lot less money than what you'll find from other brands. I know Schley has these as well. A bunch of brands have them. I believe Snap-on makes them too, or at least they sell them. So shop around, find yourself the best price on these, because I think the quality is all fairly good on these. You just got to find the best deal going. Otherwise, you could wind up spending way too much money. As it is, $68.49 is expensive for two sockets, but these are specialty sockets, so they're going to be pricey. If you work on big trucks that have DAFCO fuel filters, then you have that ring around the base of the housing that has to be unscrewed, and there's only one kind of wrench that's going to do that, and that's a fuel filter wrench that's built specifically for the DAFCO fuel filter housing retainer rings. There's a 6-inch size and an 8-inch size. I have never sold an 8-inch because I've never seen an 8-inch in any shop. The 6 inches all over the place. I sell tons of these things, and these are very thick, heavy gauge metal. You're not going to bend them. You've seen thinner DAFCO wrenches that bend, and once they bend, they're useless. Avoid those. They're junk. For the $40.49 that the 6-inch one is going to cost you, get it. It's worth every penny. You're never going to bend it. You cannot break this thing. Don't take that as a challenge, but I'm just saying it's so thick that there's no way you're gonna break it. They're good for Cat engines, Detroit diesels, International, Mercedes-Benz, Packard, Daimler, Kenworth, Mack, Navistar, Peterbilt, Volvo. They're used on all the transit buses that the city of Austin owns, that I service the shops for, and everyone buys these things. They're excellent values. I have shown you KnKut brand drill bits in the past. These are excellent bits. Yes, they're pricey. Are they too expensive? I don't know. It depends on what your wallet and your budget and your stomach can withstand. But they have these step point drill bits on the top there. Those are very similar to the Matco Hyperstep bits that I think, I've been told by a couple of people, are made by Astro. I have not confirmed that, though, so I don't know that that's true. I know Astro also has sets of these bits. But I believe those are high-speed steel or cobalt grade. These on the page here, the ones on the top and the ones on the bottom, that 29-piece jobber length drill bit buddy set, are salt nitride treated. So they're harder and consequently more brittle than other bits, including the cobalt ones. But if you do three things, these bits will love you forever. One of them is, do not start a pilot hole before you use them. The tips on these are specifically designed to not need a pilot hole. And because these are a split point bit, they have a chisel tip to it, and then there's an angle where the chisel tip then goes out to the cutting edge. If you drill a pilot hole, you will defeat the purpose of the chisel tip, and as a result, these will not cut the way they're supposed to, and you're just going to dull and chunk off the cutting edge of the bit, and then you're going to be unhappy with it, and you're going to think they're a piece of junk. When they're not. You're just not using them the way they're designed to be used. No pilot hole, slow RPM, and use cutting oil, right? You do those three things, these bits will last you a very, very long time. And because they're so hard, it's not like you're just going to dull them unless you burn them up by going too fast and not using oil. So if you want more information on that, look at KnKut's website. They break it down a little bit better for you than I do. But if you do those three things, these are outstanding investment. People who buy these are hesitant to it initially because they're very pricey and they don't have a warranty on them. And I know that, like Irwin, Matco, and Mac all have warranties on their bits. Mac is the only one that has a lifetime warranty on all sizes. Irwin and Matco have a warranty on everything larger than 1/4 inch. But you're getting such a higher quality bit. Now, it may not matter to you given your application or where you are in your development with your drilling skills. But if you're ready to take your drilling game to the next level and you've refined your skills to the point where you can use these properly, these are outstanding at cutting through any material. So I'd recommend that once you get to that point, that if you want to up your game with drilling, look at these bits. And when you buy them, do not lend them to anybody else in the shop because they're very expensive. But they're just great quality. I just sold another set the other night, and it's a very similar story. Guys like what they hear, but they're hesitant because they're expensive, and they feel weird if there's not a warranty on them. And for guys who are willing to do it, if they can take that to heart and do those three things that I mentioned, then they've all been very happy with them. In fact, some guys have been surprised at just how smoothly they cut and how well they cut. So it's something to consider. Now, I also sell the Irwin ones. You can look at the high-speed steel bits from Irwin. They have cobalt grade ones as well. They're all less expensive than the KnKut ones, but KnKut's just such an outstandingly made bit. They still make them in the U.S. They're hard to beat quality wise, and I don't know. I just have a hard time imagining that you wouldn't be happy with them. I knew one guy that he bought the step point set from somebody else before I had him, and I met him after he bought the set, and so he said they're dull, and when he talked to me about what he was doing, he was just, going in dry, high speed, burning them up. And when I told him about how they're intended to be used, he says, "Oh, well, that's not how I'm using them." That's when he told me how he was using them. And I replaced the ones that he had, but they're expensive. He had to get, a dozen of them replaced. And, they're, depending on the sizes, I remember $15 to $17 per bit. So he was in it for a lot of money. Just because he burned them all up, because he was just going in kind of like a ham-fisted lug and just, using them in ways they weren't intended to be used. So do a little bit of research on them before you pull the trigger. And that way you understand what the expectation is, how these are designed to be used, and you will get your money's worth out of them if you were to do that. Another nice price drop is these work tables from K-Tool. I've been selling the ones from ATD because ATD's price was less than the K-Tool price. Now, the K-Tool price has leapfrogged and come down a little bit. So it's nice to see that the prices are coming down on these because they're so popular. I have a hard time keeping them in stock. Right now, for $154.99, you can choose green, red, or black. 220-pound capacity. They adjust from 34 inches to just under 48 inches high. And the work table dimensions are 29 by 20 by 34.5. And they're so handy, especially for diesel guys. They like adjusting these things to their top of their range. And then if they're up in an engine on a large truck, it's not far from them to reach down and grab another tool and get it. So I sell these mostly to diesel guys. They have a very handy drawer in them. If they could upgrade one thing on these, I wish they would upgrade the casters and put something a little bit bigger on them. You know, for the price difference, it would be worth it, I think, to have something that rolls a little bit easier on the shop floor. But still, you know, I've known guys that modify these. I know one guy who he put a wire cage underneath it, and then he upgraded the casters to these big old casters, and he welded them on. And this guy's awesome. In fact, you've seen some videos with him in the past. KnKut. If you look back on my mini ductor video, he was in it, and this guy is awesome because he's a maker. He creates stuff. He thinks about the next iteration of something. So he'll see a product like this and then instantly think about how he can modify it to suit his needs better. So yeah, you can do things to it. You can put different casters on it, but even right out of the box for $154.99, good price for the base unit if you want to accessorize it or improve it yourself. But these are very, very popular. I sell these all the time. If you're thinking about a toolbox, consider Extreme. Now, I will say this, not to talk you out of buying Extreme, but you can get excellent deals from Icon boxes at Harbor Freight, which are very, very good quality, very nicely priced. I have a hard time not recommending them. But if you're so inclined as to look at the Extreme boxes, you can look at these nice combo kits that they put together. There are X series boxes, which are these here, are their medium tier box. They have a heavy duty tier, which is their EX series, and they have a light duty tier, which is their DX series. I suggest if you're a pro, you look at least the RX or the EX and avoid the DX. So they combine these bottom boxes with a hutch. These bottom boxes are 72 inches wide, 30 inches deep, and each drawer slide is rated for 125 pounds. So the shallow drawers, which have 2 slides, are rated for 250 pounds, and the deep drawers, which have 4 slides, are rated for 500 pounds. You can choose green with black, black with red, black with blue, black with black, orange with black, or blue with black. So you get some decent color choices. And right now, this combo set here is going for, I just quoted one out to a guy for about $12,000. And the nice thing about the hutch is that top is hinged in the front. So instead of lifting up and then sliding back and having a cross piece in front that you can bang your head against, these lift up and then fold back so that there's no cross piece at all. And you can stand very comfortably in front of that box and work on the hutch without having to duck down a little bit or risk smacking your head. And if you buy one of these from me, I'll throw in a hutch light for free and do all the assembly work and deliver to you as you see it in the picture. You do have the option to have it shipped directly to you. I do not recommend it though, because then you're responsible for everything with the shipper and dealing with the freight company if there's a problem. I don't want you to have to do that. I'd rather be the guy to do that for you. So if you're interested in something like this, consider this in light of the Mako 5S or the Snap-on Masters series. Their EX Pro series from Extreme is more like the 6S from Mako or the Epic series. These are built very well. I'd say just as well as any of the competition's boxes. These have a nicer latching system, though. They have a hinged drawer pull and a metal latch that drops out of the way when you pull up on the pull, and then the drawer opens. I like it better than the closures on the Mako boxes and the Snap-on Masters series. The Snap-on Epic series boxes has a similar closure, but it's not as robust as the Extreme ones. And you can look at at a previous video I did when I put together and sold an Extreme RX box a few years ago. Look at that if you want to see how these boxes are constructed. I go through all the insides, the outsides, top and bottom, underneath, all around. Show you the hutch. They're excellent. They're excellent boxes. But like every other box, they're pricey. And if you want to save yourself a few bucks, look at Montezuma, look at Icon, look at even US General, Husky if you don't need something heavy duty. Those are all excellent options to look at because they can offer you stuff that if you're willing to dispense with the name brand and look at value, you can find your value other places. And K-Tool has some audio products that I've been a big fan of. I've been selling their portable XD Power wireless speaker now for a few years, and the price came down another $10 on this one. It's $169.99. Excellent response on this one. It's a nice, loud, bassy sound to it, and it goes particularly good in a shop. It covers a good area because it's fairly loud. And then just below that are earbuds for $84.49. If you're able to use earbuds in your shop, and some shops don't allow it, but if you're able to, or use them on your own, or give them as a gift, they're very good quality, very good sound. They're capacitive touch, so depending on how many times you tap it, that sequence of taps will activate certain functions of your phone. I use them every day myself to make and receive phone calls, and I listen to music too. So excellent values there, I think. Great gift ideas, and it's a way to occupy your time in the shop and make the day go by a little bit faster, hopefully. I know that there's been some stuff in this flyer that you've seen in the past, but I wanted to show you either some price changes, or if this is the first time you've seen a flyer drop video and it's the first time you've seen these products. So I hope you found it interesting. Please keep watching the channel, because I've got some things coming in the future that I know you're going to like, including our tried and true tools in the haul video. Go back and check out the knife haul video that I did where I just go over knives. I also have some cool things that we did in the past, like the whole Snap-on Toolbox giveaway. If you haven't seen that, if you're new to the channel, go back and check that out. That was kind of fun. And we have plenty of other stuff coming down the line, including more of the tool haul videos, because that's a regular staple of a segment. And we'll do some more vlog stuff too. We talk about some news in the tool industry. So do me a favor and click down here now to subscribe so that you don't miss any of it. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, use a tool. Don't be one.